All of these leads suck. It's weird. I hear that from agents all the time, and it doesn't seem to matter the source. Whether it's paid leads from Zillow, team leads, pay per click, or even free leads from Facebook. The problem isn't the leads. It's also not your skills on the phone. It's a simple misunderstanding of what leads actually want, and then you being able to give it to them consistently. My name is Levi Jones. I'm the founder and head coach of Guerrilla Realty, and I want to help agents convert more raw leads into closed transactions. Not with some magic script or AI chatbot, but with some old school relationship building skills. By the way, we do a full 1 hour live training on our full process for converting raw leads. Now, we've converted thousands of raw leads to buyers and sellers, and we go through everything we've learned, scripts, tools, everything. And we want to give it all to you for free. All you have to do is like this video, share it with another agent who wants to convert more leads, and then comment shared below, and I'll send you a private link to the full resource. Here's what we'll cover in this video. First, I'm going to give you a 2-question test. It's a short quiz that you either pass or fail. Pass, you already get it. You're a follow-up master. You can skip this video. Fail, and it's actually the first step in knowing your leads better and converting more of them to deals. Then we'll go over the bribe call. Building trust with leads starts with adding value. And I'm not talking about a veiled sales pitch that maybe kind of sort of starts with helping out. We'll give you the exact script we have used to give the lead exactly what they want. And then finally, we're going to talk about how to fix your contact rate. The best script doesn't matter if you can't get anyone on the phone. And it's 2025. No one answers their phone anymore. So we want to give you the trick to getting more people on the phone. Let's start with a quick 2-question test to see how strong you really are at connecting with leads on the phone. Question 1, you're on the phone with a lead who isn't giving you much detail. What is your first instinct? A, ask direct qualifying questions to narrow down their needs. B, share something useful to encourage them to open up. C, keep the call short and schedule a follow-up later. Or D, tell a quick story about a past client in a similar situation. Think about it. I don't want you to guess what I want, but answer what you would likely do. What's your instinct? Now, the best answer here is B, because when you provide value first, you lower defenses and make the lead want to open up. Now for question 2. A lead says, we already have a friend in real estate, but we're just poking around for now. What do you do? A, thank them and hang up. B, ask who their friend is. C, offer a tip or resource that could help them anyways. Or D, keep probing to see if they're really committed to their friend. The right answer here is C, because even if they already know someone, showing up with value positions you as a trusted backup. Now, here's the deal. If you nailed both of those, congratulations, you passed. You already see follow-up for what it should be, giving value and earning trust. Honestly, you don't need to watch the rest of this video. But if you didn't get both right, that's a sign your mindset about leads needs to shift. Stick with me because I'm about to show you exactly how to do that. All right, the bribe call. This is where we connect with the customer relationally and we begin to help them. Now, I want you to think of a few things as you prepare and set the foundation for this call. First thing, people don't like realtors. They don't like salesmen generally, but they really don't like realtors. And that's because they don't want to get sold. They want to feel like they're buying something. Okay. They want to be in control of the call. So we don't want to behave like a realtor. We want to be helpful. And so the mistake a lot of agents make is they immediately go into sales mode. They start peppering with questions, feeling like they have to qualify the lead as they're sorting them out. Don't behave like a realtor. That's the best thing that you can do. Thing number 2, think about what you actually know about this buyer lead that you may get. Again, from Zillow, from a pay-per-click campaign, from a free ad on Facebook or Craigslist. They're looking for housing. That's what you know about them, okay? You don't know much else. In fact, you're going to get to know them, but you know they're looking for housing. And by definition, statistically, that means that they also statistically, about 37% of them have a home to sell as well. And so a local home to sell. About 46% of them have a home to sell, period, but a lot of those might be relocations, et cetera. And so we want to find out how many of these potentially are listing leads, okay? Then We want to help them with their search. Later, we'll help them with financing if they're a buyer. And then if they're a seller, we want to help them with pricing. Those are the things that are going to be valuable to them that we can actually offer, and that they'll most likely accept if we do it in not a self-serving way. Let's jump into the actual script itself. So first, let me give you a little trick. You don't want to jump into any script, our scripts or anything else, where you start fast talking. Oh, I'm reading through. You start talking. You sound wooden or like a robot, someone who doesn't actually care about the customer. So one of the tricks that we use is we'll use like a slow, confused tonality. So I'll say, "Hey, is this Joe Blow or whatever the prospect's name is?" And they're going to go, yeah. And that's when I say, "Hey, this is Levi. I'm with Gorilla Realty. The reason I'm calling is I'm just checking in. I saw you were looking at one of my properties online earlier, and I just wanted to check in and make sure you got all the information you needed." Now, this is where we've all experienced, we call it the insurmountable wall. It just shoots up. They're not wanting to get sold. If you've probably given the wall, "No, thanks, I'm just looking," right? They go, "Oh, I got everything I needed, thanks," right? They're not interested in continuing with you. This is where you have to be able to add some help. But before we can help them, we have to ask them a question. And the question is, "Hey, no problem. Before I let you go, I just want to ask, when you do find the home that you're eventually going to move to, are you going to be putting up your current home for sale, or are you going to be keeping it?" Okay. Now, remember, statistically, 37% of all homeowners, or excuse me, all home buyers have a home to sell locally as well. It's actually higher than that, if you consider that they might be relocating it as well. So if they're a first time home buyer, or they're an investor, or they're currently renting, in other words, they give you some answer, but like, "Oh, I don't own a home yet," then you're going to skip immediately to the buyer track of this script. If they say, "Yeah, of course I'm going to sell my house. I'm not going to, pay two mortgages or whatever," then we're going to skip to the seller track. Again, this is just defining how we can actually help them. Okay. So the buyer track, I'm going to say, "Hey, great. We actually have this brand new program where we can set you up to receive listings via email as soon as they come on the market." A lot of times you're going to be able to see them before agents do. It's way better than Craigslist search, Zillow search, insert whatever they were doing, however you got the lead. Would that be helpful to you? Now, what I'm really talking about is just that automated search that you have through your MLS. It's nothing special, it's nothing magical, but it meets their needs. It helps them. And most people are going to go, "Yeah, I guess so." And then you're going to say, "Hey, give me a second. Go ahead and describe to me your dream home and I'll put it in for you." No big deal. And now we have a way that we can actually help this customer with their home search that's very low pressure. It starts with relationship. Okay. Again, this is call number one. Now, some people, if they're a seller, we're going to go to the seller track. And I say, "Hey, we actually have a brand new service. It's a home valuation. It's a 50-point statistical analysis, and it stands up to any amount of scrutiny. It's the best way to know the value of your home right now, and it'll probably be good for about 3 to 6 months. So even if you're not looking to list right now, this would be good to have just on file, just to know what your home's worth." I do this for everybody. It takes me just a few minutes to put it together. Again, if they truly have a home to sell, they're going to be interested to know what their home is worth. Okay. And so when they say, "Yeah, I guess so," I ask them some questions, and I'll say, "Hey, I'll go ahead and set that up. I'll let you know, let me know if you have any trouble." And I get off the phone with them. This is the bribe call. You'll notice I didn't try to set an appointment. I didn't get super aggressive with them. I didn't start to qualify them. I led with value. So you'll notice we didn't do a lot of closing on the first call. The reason is you can't close until you've built relationship and trust. We can't build relationship and trust until we've delivered on the value that now we've promised. And so that's where the next step call comes into play. Now, this is meant to be delivered about 48 hours after the initial call. So they've had a chance to, "Hey, that guy seemed nice on the phone. He seems professional." And now, if they're a buyer and we're on the buyer track, I'm going to call them back. I'm going to say, hey, did you get the listings that were emailed over? How'd they look? And they're either going to say, yeah, I got the listings, or no, I didn't. And I'll say, hey, check spam. More often than not, they're still, it's kind of a tepid response. They're going to say, yeah, I got, they look fine or whatever. Okay. And I'm going to say, hey, don't worry. There's new listings every day. You'll be shocked at how fast you find something you love. And then I say, can I offer some advice? And they're going to be sure. They're going to say, sure. You don't just want to jump into the advice. You're going to ask them first. Most people are going to say, yeah, I guess so, sure. And you're going to say, hey, your next step is going to be to go ahead and get pre-approved. The reason is, if or when you do find the house that you want to be able to come with a strong offer. A strong offer always has a pre-approval on it. Number two, you don't want to be flying blind. You don't want to just, oh, maybe I can afford that, or it's helpful to know right now, and it's totally easy to get pre-approved for free, even if you're a long way out. And I'd be happy to connect you. I'm actually know the best mortgage broker in town, and I'd love to get you connected with them. It's free to get pre-approved. Do you mind if he gives you a call? Again, if they're a buyer, more than likely they're going to go, yeah, sure. And what happens next is, and you guys probably already know this, if someone's pre-approved, it's like immediately their disposition changes. They went from, I'm not sure, I'm months out from doing anything, to, oh, now I have money. Let's start shopping. And once you're showing them property, and they might have even had tepid response because of all the news about the rates and stuff like that. Once they find out what they can actually afford, they might be surprised, maybe even pleasantly surprised. Okay. Now, if they're a seller and you've offered to do this home valuation for them, then you want to deliver it. So we say, hey, I'm almost finished with the CMA. The last step is to walk around the outside of your house. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I want a full view of the property. When's the time when you and your husband will be home? It'll only take 5 minutes. After it's over, I'll have the full CMA for you, and I'd be happy to walk you through it really quickly, just so that it makes sense to you. Now, once you've done that, you now have a listing appointment. Great. Let's show them the value of their house. Let's talk to them about how we could potentially list their house. If you do those two calls, you're going to start connecting with a lot more of the leads. And what you're going to find is that before you had felt blown off, or, oh, the leads are looky-loos, all of a sudden you start providing value. You actually start connecting with the real buyers and sellers among the leads that you have. Now, I know some of you are already saying to me, you're going, well, this is all nice, Levi, but I don't, I've tried calling before, and I usually don't talk to very many of my leads. That's why I text, or why I email, or whatever the case may be. And the reason is, nobody answers their phone. It's 2025. We all have caller ID. We all prefer texting. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to fix the contact rate. There's only 2 rules that you need to follow. And they're going to probably break your brain a little bit, because you're probably used to being a hard charging agent. You're not lazy, and you've tried calling before, and it might look something like this. Because you're not a lazy agent, you call, and of course it immediately goes to voicemail. And so, because they don't recognize the number. And so you immediately, hey, I'm thorough. I'm texting. I'm leaving a voicemail. I'm probably throwing them on an email drip campaign, just so I can make sure and not forget about this lead. The problem with all of that is, remember, back to the beginning, let's talk about this lead. They don't like real estate agents. They don't think they need one right now in the process. They're probably right about that, in the sense that they could go online and get all sorts of information. But you're a different agent. You can actually help them here. They don't know that yet. So how do we connect with them at a much higher rate? The first rule that you want to follow is no voicemails, no emails, no text. And again, I realize that's going to be a different thing for you. But I want you to think about, if this buyer who doesn't like real estate agents, or doesn't think they need an agent, they get a voicemail, they go, oh, that's an agent. Probably won't call them back, but in best case scenario, they'll go, oh, I'll file that away for the future, which of course we know means never. You just don't get responses to those means of communication. Okay. With new leads, they don't trust you. They don't have any relationship with you yet. So we're just going to hold off on all of those. If we call and they don't answer, we hang up the phone. The second rule that we follow is 5 strikes and you're out. This is very simply just a balance. There's nothing magic about 5 strikes. This is the balance that we have found with exhausting the opportunity with every lead, but also not banging our head against the wall trying to reach someone who's unreachable. Now, what if you follow these 2 rules, your contact rate's going to go from around 10, 15% to 50 to 60%. In other words, a 5 or 6x difference just in following these 2 simple rules. You're going to actually start having conversations with your buyers and sellers. That makes all the difference in the world. You combine this with a great script that leads with helping, all of a sudden you're a follow-up master. Again, we've done nothing to make your phone skills better or anything like that. We've given you a script that leads with helping, and then we followed some pretty practical tools or rules rather on how to fix the contact rate. So let's talk about some numbers. You've gotten this far. I just want to walk through some real quick numbers with you. First things first, if you've followed the fix your contact rate advice, you're now at about a 55% contact rate. Okay. That should follow that when you're helping people, your bribe rate is about 75%. What does that mean? It means of the people that we talk to, about 3/4 of them accept one of our 2 bribes or both. Okay. They accept getting a home valuation. They accept us helping them with the home search. Okay. So the final number that I want to give you is the closing rate, because this is the one you actually care about. This should ultimately lead to about a 5% closing rate. That's about 1 in 20, 1 in 25 leads, depending on how good these other things. So that means you need to have a lot of leads. That's a video for another day, but this is consistent. If you can generate leads and then become a follow-up master, close it about 1 in 20 leads, now you have a repeatable process that you can do again and again and again that will absolutely revolutionize your business. That's it. No magic scripts, no special drip campaigns, just real connection with people who are buying and selling homes. Remember, we do a full 1-hour-long training on raw lead conversion where we share our scripts, methodology, and the free tools we use for follow-up. We want to give it to you for free. Just like the video, share it, and type share it in the comments, and I'll send you a private link to the training for free. We also put out 2 new videos like this a week, so make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. See you next time.